You have balanced. You see him right here. Do not path this way. You are running towards him. We do not do that. You see him here. You are running either this way or you're running this way. We are not running towards him. We're not giving him a big ol' hug. Now, I get it if you have like a thing for Trickster and you're just like, come here, big boy. Like, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. But we're not running towards him. Our only options right now are going to the left, away from him, or back where we came from. Would you like free Dead by Daylight coaching? Just join the Discord, read the VOD submission rules and considerations, and then come submit your VOD. Every Friday we will be reviewing VODs and giving you tips and tricks on how to improve your Dead by Daylight content. I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, here we go. So this is Colonel. Thank you, Colonel, for submitting your VOD. I appreciate you. Alright, let's see what's going on. Sanctum of Wrath! Woohoo! This map is... This is a very interesting map. Now, we have a med kit. It's yellow. We like that. So you'll get, I think at least, you'll get a heal off on this one. And you'll have just like a teeny bit left of it, which is fine. We have Kindred, Windows, Iron Will, and Balanced. Luckily for you, this map is actually not too bad for Balanced Landing, especially main. The main building is like the temple thing that's like in the middle. But anyway, you can fall off of the main building and this will help you so much. But I think now, because of the changes to the Red Forest map, I feel like balance is not as much of a gamble as it used to be. I feel like it is much better now than it's ever been. Oh, I forgot to move my camera over. Hold on. I got this. Okay, so Balanced Landing is much better now than it's ever been. So having this as your exhaustion perk, A+. We love it. And all of these perks are just really good. Iron Will is not as good as it used to be. You know, back in my day, it used to be 100% silencing of your injuries. Now I think it's like 90% or something like that, like 80%. It's not 100% anymore, is the point. And so you'll be quieter when you're injured, but you'll still be able to be heard. Now this can help against certain killers, especially at higher tiers, but like at the highest tier, not so much. Not so much. I think at your tier, it'll be fine because killers at like the lower tier don't usually rely on sound as much. They do, but not as much from my understanding. So I think this is an okay perk, but you know, if you really like it, keep it. If you don't see very much value out of it, I would recommend maybe looking into another perk. Maybe even, I know I mentioned this in the last VOD review, but like you could even consider Bond to help you find teammates faster. I feel like that's really helpful. Maybe you could look into Adrenaline. 75%. Oh, it's even worse than I thought. I was like, I think it's like 80. Oh man. Okay. I am so glad that you found this gen right here. But we're already 15 seconds in. I need you running to this gen. You don't have sprint burst, so there's no excuse for you to be walking to a gen right now. If you had sprint burst, you can walk. You gotta walk. I can't with sprint burst. You can't force me to walk because I run everywhere. Anyone who knows me knows if I'm putting on sprint burst, it's over. Like, I'll never get to use sprint burst because I'm always running. As soon as I like load into a game, we're running to find a gen, yeah? Because I know it's like very nitpicky, but as you go up in experience and things like that, this amount of time is it's gonna add up. You need to run to this gen. And this is just a small thing. We're 15 seconds into the match. We just loaded in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. 5 seconds. You see the gen here? You need to just run for it. You see... Hold on. Hold on. Right here. You saw the light above the gen right here. You know there's a gen here. Run. Run. So, this is a small thing, but in the beginning of the match, you want to utilize as much of your time as possible. Unless you have sprint burst, you should not be walking. That's the only exception. If you have sprint burst, you walk, okay? Alright, we're looking around. I like this. I like this. This is very important because you never know, like, who might be around. We hear terror radius. So automatically, we know that it is not a stealthy killer. Because a sneaky killer would be no terror radius, right? So what we should be doing right now is looking in this direction and this direction. Like, generally, like, over here. Not, like, where we came from. Because where we came from, the killer is not going to be there. Because we spawned in there. There's no way the killer will be there. Most times. I will say, there have been some instances that I've heard of. I've not personally experienced it, but I have heard of, like, some people spawning right next to the killer. But it's very unlikely. It's super unlikely, especially in 2023. So you want to be looking over here and in this general direction, like in the diagonal over here. Because you know there's no way that they can be behind you. So we need to be looking to see who is it, where are they coming from. You actually just see them too. You just saw them. Let's see if I can pause it right here. Right here. Right here. I feel like I'm like playing Where's Waldo. And in fact, Colonel, I think this is your favorite killer, isn't it? Favorite. This is a trickster. Like I already see it. I see his yellow coat. I hear his terror radius, but that comes with experience. Like if you don't know what the different terror radiuses sound like, that's okay. You need to be looking for where this killer is, and you already see him. He's right here, and this is definitely a trickster. So you see him. Sorry, hold on. I'm gonna circle him again. You see him? And he's going this way. And he's going with a purpose. Like, I think he's seen someone, right? He's certainly acting like it. So we should be turning our camera to look more this way. Because we just saw him go this way, right? So we need to be, like, paying attention, like, oh, what's happening over here? Where is he going? Why is he going over here, right? So we need to be, like, turning our camera more. Oh, he's coming over here. So he's literally, like, over here now. So we need to, like... We need to do what I like to call keeping our eyes on the birdie. Alright. Let's see what you do. Alright. Wait. What are we doing? Where is he? Where did he go? What is he doing? I want to know. Like, he was coming towards us, yes, but then he looked away. So, if you see... Hold on, can I slow this down? Let me slow this down, like... Okay, it's just annoying. Okay, you see him coming towards you, right? You see him right here. He's coming towards you. Alright, hold on. Okay, right here. He is no longer going towards you. He is going this direction. He no longer cares about you. He must have heard someone right in there. He must have heard someone over here to make him believe that there's someone closer for him to, like, deal with. You know what I mean? You need to keep your eye on what he's doing. You need to react to what the killer is doing. And right now, he doesn't care about you. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, he hears someone right in here, and he's just like, he's going for him. I don't know what he does, because you immediately, like you said, you're just like, I'm out. Which is fine, but you need to, like, turn your camera more so that you can see what he's doing over here. Because right now, I'm scared right now because I don't know what he's doing. And that scares me. And I'm just witnessing this, okay? So you need to like turn your camera more to pay attention to what he's doing, which is fine that you want to go over here, but like turn your camera more. Like pay attention to what he's doing. Yeah. It's good that you immediately went to this like safe area where you knew there was a pallet. Like you knew there's a pallet right here. So it's good that you're here. You're too far from this pallet, from this loop. This is a whole ass loop that you need to be like kind of staying towards, especially since you don't know where he is anymore, because you have no idea, because you turned your camera away. We have no idea where he is or what he's doing. I struggle seeing the killer in the distance. I completely understand. Basically, what I would recommend is if you're struggling to see the killer, I would recommend running Bond. It will highlight your teammates. So say you have like a little teammate here. I'm gonna draw a little stick figure, right? They're highlighted in yellow. Okay. And if you see movement like over here and they're not highlighted, that's the killer. 100%. If you see movement and it's not highlighted in yellow like it's your teammate, then you know that that's the killer right here. So I would really recommend, like, if you're struggling to like see the killer and you're not sure, like, oh, is that the killer, or I'm not sure, run Bond. Bond will help you with that. And you'll be able to distinguish a little easier. Okay. I don't mind this. You see this teammate running away from something, but they're looking this way. Paying attention to like that, I don't mind this because they might be getting chased. Like, but then they do this. Okay. So I don't think they're being chased right now. You could comfortably be on the gen. And right here, like, how long were they in chase for? Oh, they were like in chase for a little while. Okay. So, okay. You got off the gen, right? And we saw that the trickster was going in a different direction. This person just got off their gen. So, knowing that the trickster is not necessarily after you, like, I'm not saying that you would know this in this moment, but if you were to be like, if you had paid attention and saw that the trickster had gone that weird direction, you would then look like I would have stayed on that gen, but it's okay that you left. It's fine. Like, you were like in panic mode. I gotta get away. But then I would suggest looking at what your teammates are doing. And this Leon was just on a gen. In fact, I think, yeah, okay. This Leon literally is on the same gen as this Bill. They're on the same gen. In fact, he just got on this gen just now. Yeah. And they're both working on this gen. But it's okay. It's hard to pay attention to that because right now you have bigger things to worry about. So I totally understand. But like I said, he's gonna be going in this direction here in a second. Probably because he hears these two people working on this gen. Either that or he has discordance, which is more like it's hard to know, like, especially at this level. But notice they just both got off this gen. They are both now no longer working on the gen, which means the trickster is pressuring both of these teammates. I just made a smiley face. You see the Bill here in a second, and also right as you see the Bill, this Leon is in chase. This is your cue to go back to your gen immediately, because the trickster is no longer interested in you. He is on the Leon. 100%. He's chasing this Leon right now as we speak. So at that moment, I would say immediately run back to your gen. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Yeah. We should have been on this gen a little while ago. You were worried about, you know, him coming towards you. That's fine. But like, as soon as you were sure he was not on you, that's when we should have been gone. Oh! Oh no! Oh no, we did it! Oh no! 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 We're not doing this. We need to cut this out right now. This needs to be, you need to throw this out. What you've just done is you went into the dead zone. When you are on the edge of the map, there is almost nothing for you to use. You might get like one random window, like at a Z wall, maybe if you're lucky. But right here, where you're running to, this is, we don't do this. We do not do this. You do the, like, basically newer players will do this because they want to get away, right? Like they're trying to get away, and so they're like trying to like hide, and they'll hide behind here or something. You have windows, so you know that there's a pallet here. You know there's a window here. When you were first working on the gen, we should have been thinking like, okay, if the killer comes for me, I'm going to this pallet or that other pallet that's like over there that you walked past in the beginning, right? We do not pad this way. This is no. We do not go to the outside of the map. This whole zone is no. I just want to like make it like in your head. The edge is death. This is, yes, the death zone. Do not go here. You will die. The only exception I will make to this is if you are up against a nurse. And there might be some other like exceptions to this rule as well. But for the most part, like you want to get out of this habit. This is like the first thing that I'm going to tell you that you need to stop doing immediately. Do not go into the edge of the map. Do not, this is bad. Do not do this. If you want to live, do not do this, please. Okay. All right. All right. He's no longer chasing you? Are you gonna heal? Are we healing? Okay. No. No. He's no longer chasing you. Like, you know for a fact right now. There's no more terror radius. He's no longer chasing you. This is a perfect time to use this bad boy if you're gonna use it. Or if you want, you can wait to use it and we go and find a teammate. Yeah? Which I think is what you decide to do. That's fine too. Let's see what you actually do. Because that would have been a perfect time to heal. Because you would have been a very safe spot because of your you're balanced. That would have been a safe spot for you to stay in. Alright, we're working on a gen. I appreciate that. Let's go. Jumping on a gen. We love it. Now we know our teammates are each on a separate gen because of the status of each of these gens, right? Now he's in chase while this bill is being carried. And we see what's going on because of Kindred. So during this time, while I'm running Kindred, I'm paying attention to where my teammates are, where the killer is. And also with your windows, you need to start looking around as well. Like, there's a pallet here, but what's to your left? What's to your right? Because you never know, the killer could come from like any direction, right? So it's good to just familiarize yourself with this side of the map if you're gonna stay here and work on this gen. He just jumped in a locker. I don't know why. He might have flashbang. The Meg just got the unhook. She tried to heal, but the killer's probably headed back to them. That's the information I'm getting just from watching the statuses. Now she's in chase. He's healing himself. Or this Leon... No, he's healing himself. The Meg is in chase. We know that the Leon is, I think, working in like the main building, in the middle. You actually get our first gen done of the game. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So what are we doing here? Are we looking for another gen? Okay. I'm proud of you for doing that gen. I really am. I worry about rotating to the next gen that you see. When you work on gens in this way, it can be very, very dangerous because of 3-genning. If this happens just one time, no big deal. But I've seen a lot of survivors where they'll finish, like, say they finish this gen, and then they go to work on the gen you just finished, and they work on that gen. And then there's usually, like, another gen off in this distance, and then they go from the mid-gen to this gen. And so what will happen is there's a gen in the main building, and then 3 gens on the other side. And so what you've just done is made a 4-gen for the killer. What you need to, like, keep in mind is where gens are being completed so that you don't allow for a 3-gen or a 4-gen to happen on one side of the map. This is fine, I think, because there's only been 1 gen done and it's on this side. You can work on this gen, I think, comfortably, but what a better gen would have been to do is maybe doing the main gen. And then that way there would be 3 gens on this side and then 2 gens on this side that the killer would have to, like, contest. I don't want to, like, nitpick it necessarily, but it can be very difficult, especially with a trickster, because they have, like, the ability to hit you from a long range, right? So if he has it so easy with, like, a 3-gen on one side, say it's, like, all on that side, he can just patrol, like, from all these gens, like, around, like, back and forth. And since he has a long distance attack, he can just scare survivors off from, like, say this gen while he's right here. Like, he just goes, like, a little distance to check this gen, and then, oh, there's survivors there. He just throws, like, warning shots. Like, he doesn't even necessarily have to hit anybody, but, like, he'll just throw warning shots at that gen to scatter those survivors, right? And so we really need to be conscious about which gens we're doing and leaving, because that's really important, because you might not be thinking about it, but the killer might be. The killer might already be, like, staying on this side of the map to protect a 3-gen. And so we really need to be aware that that's what's going through the killer's mind, especially if you're going against, like, Skull Merchant. Skull Merchants are notorious for picking out a 3-gen and sticking with it. You need to be aware that that's the strategy that the killer is going for, and you need to, like, stop it. You need to be a thorn in that killer's side. I'm sorry to my killer mains out there. I'm sorry. I have to do it. But literally, you need to be aware of this. Okay, you know the killer's over there. So why are we jumping off the gen? Okay, good. Good. So you know your teammate is over there working on the gen. You should not be going for this save. And the reason for it is that you are injured and this Bill is not. And the Bill is was closer, but now he's in chase. Okay, so this person is going in for the save. This is what I am pointing these things out, is so that you understand, like, what decision you should make in this instance, right? Like, it can be very difficult to know what the best decision is when you're in the situation, right? But yeah, I would have just committed to the gen because you knew that the killer was, you know, right next to the hook. And with Kindred, you'll see when the killer leaves the hook, so at that point then you could go in. But the Bill was, like, on the same side and not injured, so I would have given it to the Bill to do. But then he got into chase. So then at that point, then I would have been like, okay, either I or the Leon have to go in for this save. All right, we got another gen done. I'm so proud of you. Also, we're not missing skill checks, which I'm like, yay! Because even I will miss skill checks sometimes. All right, you just heard a knife. Oh, you just watched that pallet drop? They finished a gen on the other side, which is great, which means there's 1 gen on this side, 1 in main, and 2 on the opposite side from where we are, okay? Where did they went? Okay, so they went down there. Oh, okay. Now you know he has Starstruck. With Starstruck on a Trickster, I would assume potentially they're going for Adept Trickster. Unless you see that there's like other perks in play, which we haven't really gotten a chance to see much of this Trickster's gameplay. I would, like, personally, seeing this, I would just assume, like, okay, maybe he's trying to do Adept, because Starstruck is a Trickster perk, by the way. It's one of his perks. So that's just something to, like, keep in mind. But I also think it's very interesting that he's kind of, like, coming towards you after hooking someone. So potentially barbecue? Uh-oh. What are we doing? Oh, I was so scared. I was so scared that it was coming down that shack wall. I was so scared for you. Oh my gosh. I was so scared. All right, we're going to the unhook, right? To help with the healing. Yeah, that's great. Oh, we use balance. You have balanced landing. You cannot drop at all. Unless you're wanting to use your balance landing, we should not be dropping like that. Misuse that one. Yeah. But this is something to keep in mind if you were wanting to continue to run balance landing. You have to like mentally keep this in mind. You have to like force yourself to like not pad this way. Like doing this is not what we need to be doing. What we could have just done instead is right here. We could have just, like, I know you're looking behind for the Trickster, but I would just have gone around to go get our teammate, you know, just, like, go this way, right? Or, you know, there's another set of stairs over here. There's, like, right here. So it does take a little longer to go around that way, but you would be saving your balance landing for if Trickster does come around, right? Because if he comes to interrupt this heal, like if all three of you are here, if all three of you are healing right here, you just run up here and then you drop down like you did and your balance landing activates and you're like, bye bitch, I'm out of here. Because you're running balance landing, you're gonna have to consciously be aware of these kinds of drops. And you might not have even realized that this was a drop that would activate balance landing. And that's completely fine too, if you didn't realize that. But now you know. So you're gonna have to keep in mind like, oh, this is a great drop for when I need to use balance landing. And so now you know for the future that you can't just drop all willy-nilly off of this platform. You have to go around the long way, right? To save your balanced. But now you know for like when you are in chase, that drop will activate your balanced. Alright, and now they double heal you. That's nice. She just went down. She's on the other side. Again, I would be really concerned about how much he's trying to protect that side of the map. Like, it might not be intentional, but it's what's kind of happening right now. Like, he's really protecting that side of the map. Oh no, Colonel, you're not doing it. Oh no, you're not gonna do it, are you? Oh no. Are you going to the shack? Because I bet it's either in shack or in this tile right here is where the generator is. Okay, good. No. No. Colonel, don't. Okay. What are we doing? He's picking up. That's good. Okay, good. I'm so proud of you for rotating. Now, you got into Starstruck territory. Oh my god, he's right behind you. Oh my god. Did you not hear him fall behind you? Did you? I would be shitting bricks right now. I would literally be saying, oh fuck to myself right here. Because I literally heard him drop behind you. That was the Trickster dropping. That sound that, that was him dropping. Okay. So he gets picked up. You're about to be within terror radius. And you know he has Starstruck. We have to be careful that we're not running too close to his terror radius, especially when we're fully healed. When it first happened, you were injured, so it was like, no big deal. You're already a one hit down anyway, but now you're fully healed. You cannot let the Starstruck happen. So yeah, when you're fully healed and you know the killer has Starstruck, you need to be very careful about like where the people are getting picked up and where you are in relation to that. So right here, you just got exposed. We need to be like aware of where the killer is to us. We know the killer's to our left. We should kind of be looking over to our left to see what the killer is doing, yeah? Right there. That was either, I think that was the trickster falling or hooking this survivor. But it sounded really close. Yeah! Okay! What did I say? I was like, it sounds really close. 100%. And I do not look behind me. That's another thing. That's like, I don't want to like overwhelm you with stuff. Like that's gonna come with time. But I'm gonna help you with your like awareness, like in general first. Because looking behind you is a skill that you will practice in time. But you need, like, when you're not in chase is the best time to practice looking around more, right? So when you practice doing that when you're not in chase, it will become a lot more natural for you to be able to look at what the killer is doing when you are in chase. So that's why I'm like trying to like tell you when you're not in chase, we need to be looking at what the killer is doing, right? That's like first step, like level one. Level one paying attention to the killer is just when you're not in chase, what is the killer doing, right? Okay, we have Kindred. So we know like he was no longer around here. He went to kick this main gen because he knew that that had some progress on it, okay? That's good information. That's really good information. Does the Bill have Starstruck? We don't know. But the Bill is dead on hook. And by the way, we haven't been hooked once. We have 0 hooks. That's really not like your fault because the way the match kind of played out. But you can afford to be aggressive right now. Well, not right now because of this, but like once this runs out, you can afford to be a little aggressive. But right now, like I was saying, you don't have any hooks. This teammate is about to die. I think you might... Okay, so that teammate is dead. This teammate is about to be dead. Yeah, he just... Yeah. I fucking called it. But he is under a pallet. He needs to... This guy... I know we can't control our teammates, but this guy needs to crawl under the pallet right now. This is his only... This is his only lifeline right now. And I know I'm coaching you. But this guy... He needs to crawl into the pallet. I know you can't see that too well because of the windows of opportunity. But he needs to crawl into the pallet. And you need to be rotating for this save right now. Crouching here is fine if you were injured and on death hook. But you are not injured and you are not on death hook. You need to immediately be rotating for this. Because if it's just a 2v1 at 1 gen... It's going to be really difficult. With 3 people, it's possible. You might get a 2 out, maybe a 3. Depends. It really depends on how things play out and what the trickster is running as far as perks. Because we only know 1 perk right now. We only know that he's got, you know, 1 perk. We don't know any of his other perks. So he could be running Noed. He might be running like No Way Out. That's where my money is. I think he's trying to do like Trickster Adept, so No Way Out is very likely right now. So we need to save this teammate. We need to make it so that they last as long as possible, to waste the killer's time as much as possible, so that this Meg can be working on a gen, and you know, you can rotate for a gen as well. Because right now the Trickster decided to reload at a locker. Like I heard him doing this. You can hear it. Yeah, you can even see it because of the kindred value that you have for this Bill who just died. You see him literally reloading right now. Yeah, right there. He is literally reloading his knives. You see it from that kindred value. So you know that he's getting his knives. That is the moment that this guy needs to be crawling under the pallet, and you need to be rotating to the pallet to save his life. I don't think he's under the pallet enough. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. You could have saved him right here. But you have nothing to fear right now. You have 2 hook states that you can sacrifice. Your team does not. So I would have been running for this pallet save. And now he's dead. And now you're exposed too. And so is the Meg, by the way. Also, oh no. What are we doing here? This is not where I parked my car. She's on a gen. Like a fucking warrior, dude. Where did the killer go? Is my question. Where is the killer right now? Oh, I know where he is. I know where he went. He was worried that this gen over here was getting worked on while these 2 people died. So he went, after he hooked the Leon, he went straight for this gen. I think it's in Shack. I don't really know because we didn't look in Shack, but I think it's in Shack. So he went straight to that gen because he was worried that you and the Meg might have been doubling up on this gen. Like 100% that's what he was doing. Because he had already kicked this gen. He already knows no one's on this gen. Or at least if they are, it's not enough progress. He hasn't checked on this gen in like forever. So he went to go check on that gen. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a minute, okay? You have balanced. You see him right here. Do not path this way. You are running towards him. We do not do that. You see him here. You are running either this way or you're running this way. We are not running towards him. We're not giving him a big ol' hug. Now, I get it if you have like a thing for Trickster and you're just like, come here, big boy. Like, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. But we're not running towards him. Our only options right now are going to the left, away from him, or back where we came from. And quite frankly, I think this is the best way, is to go left. Because if you run down this way, you potentially are leading him to the Meg. You are potentially like, hey, follow me. And then he could potentially hear the Meg working on that gen, leave you to go get the Meg, right? And interrupt her. She's right now working on the last gen. So you want to buy as much time as possible so that she can finish that gen. You also have balance landing. And right now, you are in the best spot to use balance landing. This is the strongest part of this map for balance landing. And he does not know that you have balance landing yet, because he hasn't gotten in a chase with you. So he has no idea that he's about to initiate a chase with someone who is about to balance landing his ass. He has no idea. All he thinks is, oh, I have not seen this Ash this whole game. Free hook state. That's all he's thinking, is like, oh, I'm gonna get a hook on this Ash. That's all he's thinking. He's like, oh yes, another survivor to chase. I haven't seen this Ash all game. So he has no idea you have balance landing, okay? You are in the best spot to take him on a chase. I would say, like I said, to the left. And then literally, you run, like, when you drop and you get your balance landing, run to Shack. You know Shack is over here. Run to Shack. You know the Meg is behind you, working on the gen. So if you take him to Shack, he's as far away from that gen as you can possibly go, and Shack is super safe. It's like the safest tile in the game, hands down. So, and you already know that. You and I both know that. So you're gonna want to balance landing towards Shack to take him away from the Meg. But we commit to this direction, and he's gonna he doesn't even have to get near you to hit you. Like, I mean, he uses his knives, which is nice of him, but he didn't even need to do that. He was just excited to see you, so he started throwing his knives. But yeah, like, this is a free hit right here. This is like 100% a free hit. So he hits you with the knives. Oops, I went back too far. Okay, right here. Right here. I know you probably don't know this map well. I would recommend visiting this map a little bit. There's an opening right here. Your balance landing. Your balance landing is looking at you, crying. It's crying and asking you, am I a joke to you? This is when you use your balance landing. You balance landing and then you go this way, away from your Meg. But I understand, like, you're panicking. You were not expecting to see the trickster there. But we just need to work on our awareness, our map awareness. But this is where I'm like a little concerned. Because you're about to take a hit here. You're about to get injured, right? What is this medium fault? What happened? I know this is more nitpicky, but like, there's no reason to be medium vaulting this. We should definitely have a fast vault on this. So I think you might have hesitated, maybe? Like right here, you press the button. Right here. You just press that button. Because you're already gonna get hit. There's no hesitation. Just go for the window. If you're going for the window, go for it. Full send it. Just go. Run, my little Ash. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, wait, what are we doing? No! The panic! No! The panic! Okay. And the Meg is... She's like, I'm out. Okay. So again... We had... This is just unfortunate. Like, I've done this before with, like, Lithe or even with balance landing myself. Like, where I will get my speed boost and then I'll just run into a wall. Like, it happens to everybody, so don't feel bad about it, okay? Like, it happens to everyone. Like, we have our sprint burst, we're walking, we see the killer coming up behind us, we're thinking we're hot shit. We're like, haha, we got sprint burst, and then we sprint burst away, and then we run into a wall. Like, literally, like, there goes our sprint burst, right? Like, all the speed that we accumulated from our sprint burst just goes down the drain because we run into a wall. It happens to everyone. So I don't want you to feel bad that that happened to you. It's what you do afterwards that matters, okay? So right here, we get our balance right here. We don't stumble. That's one of the perks of balance landing is we do not have a stumble. And we get our speed boost. This killer... He's up top. Like, you already know that. Like, you said sayonara, bitch, to him. He's up top. He has to come down to you somehow. So he either has to come down this, like, ramp, these stairs, or he's vaulting the window, which is very unlikely. Most killers do not vault windows, and if they do, they're terrifying to me. Because that just is very scary when killers do that. Or he's dropping down, like, up at the top somewhere where there's, like, an opening, right? Like... He's dropping down. You know that for a fact. Like, he has to come and get you. He has to come from where he is over here to get you. And you're down here. You need to be away from here. You need to go to, like, kind of behind you in this direction. I know my camera's in the way, but, like, you need to go over here. Okay? You just need to path away from this zone. Away from the middle. And that's what needs to be in your head. Like as simple as I can make this, it's just like wherever the killer is, You want to be away from the killer. So yeah, here it's whatever. We all do this. You had the right idea where you were gonna run like this direction. So the idea was there, and I'm proud of you for that. You should have committed to this. I think you panicked because you're like, oh shit, I ran into this statue, fucking statue, no! But you need to commit to this direction because this is the best direction for you to go in. And in fact, with your windows of opportunity, go for this pallet right here. Immediately. You should be beelining for that. But yeah, when that happens, we need to remain as calm as we can. Like, it's hard, it comes with time. But yeah, we should definitely have beeline for that pallet to get away. And your kindred is giving this Meg a lot of value right now. She already knows where he is because of this kindred. Yeah, he went to look at in here to see what this gen is at. And now he's gonna go check the gen that she was at, and he's gonna know that that's the gen that's been being worked on. And she, yeah, I was about to say, she needs to come for this save right now. And she is. Go, Meg, go. Woohoo! We get the save, baby. All right. So now she's gonna be rotating for her gen. You need to go this way. Like, away from this vicinity. You need to just not be here. Because this trickster man, he knows that 2 survivors are here. He's going to come down on you. He do be coming. Okay, yeah, you can already hear his terror radius. Good, good. A plus. A plus. A plus! A fucking plus. Okay, she's in chase right now. That's fine. We're healing right now. Hopefully she can, like, loop him decently well to allow you to get a full heal. Okay. Hopefully she lasts a little longer. Oh, no. Okay, we just barely get a full heal off. Okay. We need to immediately be going to that gen that she was working on. No hesitations. Oh, she's over there anyway. That's unfortunate. This is GG's. Oh no. What did I tell you? Oh no. Oh no! Oh, he thinks you're at that gen. Oh no. We just used our balance. We should have saved that, I think. I think we should have saved that. It's okay. We're looking for a hatch now. That's pretty much all you can do right at this point. But you're... okay, I was like, you're still exposed? Oh shit. He's right there. Good. Window vault. Good. Where is he? Yeah. Good, good, good. Where is he? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we can't go through those. Don't feel bad about that, because even to this day I struggle to know which one I can fit through and which ones I can't. Just pre-drop this. Pre-drop it. What are you doing? No! No! And the BM! It's okay. I always think of BMs as like you're the favorite, so don't feel too bad, okay? Yeah, okay, so at this palette, I'm just gonna say it real quick. Here we are. We needed to drop this immediately, because what he's doing right now is what every trickster will do. They have no reason to come through the palette. They have zero reason to do that. Because literally they can just shoot their knives at you over the pallet. So they will never go through this pallet unless they're just psycho. In which case, more power to you, King, because that's crazy to me. But yeah, we need to pre-drop this. We just need to drop it immediately. so that we can kind of play around this tile a little bit and go either direction to make him miss his knives. He has a lot of knives, so it's kind of difficult to make it so that he loses all of his knives. But that's kind of our best bet right now, is to waste as many of his knives as possible at this pallet and make him just miss them as much as possible. You're just waiting to get that stun. It's not gonna happen. It's a fevered dream. It's a fevered dream. It just won't happen with a trickster. They have zero reason to go through the pallet like that. He has no reason to go through that pallet. So pre-dropping it would have been like the play right there. Like that was like your best chance. Like it's kind of hard because it's a 1v1 at that point and you were already injured. So there's no guarantee that like anything like would have come from it, but waiting to get that pallet stun, it just wasn't gonna happen with a trickster. Oh, okay. I was right about 2 of them. He had Starstruck, which we knew about, and he had No Way Out. I didn't know about any of these. But that was my suspicion, was like he must have had an end game perk as well, because we did not really get much information about the other 2 perks, but we knew about this one and I suspected this one. If I'm gonna leave you with like a couple things to work on, one is pathing, so figuring out where you're going to go like while you're on the gen, like in the first like couple seconds of the match. You need to have a battle plan for what will happen when a killer comes for you. So if a killer is coming from you, like for you from this direction, you need to be able to like find a pallet to like run to over here, right? Like if you're right over here, if the killer's coming from over here. If the killer is coming from like say over here, then you need to be able to like go to the pallet that's over here. And so we really need to like figure out where we're going before the chase even happens, as well as paying attention to where the killer is and where they're going. That's really important.